race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 8:10 and it is time for this week's Cop Chat. But before we get into Cop Chat this morning, just have a few announcements. The Central Water and Sewage Authority, CWSA, would like to inform residents of Diamond Village, Sanssouci, Newgrounds, Long Peace, North Union, Hadley's Village, South Union, Adelphi, Jeffrey, Lomans, Winwood, Lauders, Cedars, Bridgetown, Bayaboo, Spring Estate, Provian Vale, Yambu, Argyle, Mount Pleasant, Warraku, Lower Calder, Diamond, and Stubbs that their water supply will be disrupted on Thursday, June 27, that's today, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This disruption is to accommodate line improvement works. CWSA regrets any inconvenience caused. Also, Frank B. Armstrong SVG Limited wishes to inform all customers and the general public that the distribution business will be closed for the annual stock taken from Monday the 1st to the 2nd of July 2024. Normal business will resume on Wednesday, July 3rd. Frank B. Armstrong Retail Outlet will close on Friday the 28th of June for stock taking and will reopen on Saturday the 29th of June 2024. The accounts department will remain open to accept payments on accounts and they regret any inconvenience the closures may cause. Please note that Vinlec's cash and inquiry sections at the cooperative headquarters in Kingston will close at 11 a.m. on Friday, June 28th, 2024, to facilitate a staff meeting. Normal business hours will resume at 8 a.m. on Monday, July 1st, 2024, and of course, Vinlec apologizes for any inconvenience caused and thanks the general public for their understanding and consideration. Again, the Central Water and Sewage Authority, CWSA, wishes to inform its customers that the main office, including the cash office at Newman Controls, will be closed from 12 noon Friday, June 28th, 2024. CWSA, of course, regrets any inconvenience caused. Also, get ready for a touch on the water, the ultimate all-inclusive catamaran cruise for the season. It will be on Friday, July 5th. Come to the band touch in to the band touch in live performance mode with all your favorite hits for only $300 AC. Also join WEFM as we bring live coverage of Fantastic Friday from Carnival City, Victoria Park on Friday, June 28th, 2024 from 8 p.m. This coverage and broadcast is made possible with the kind compliments of National Lotteries Authority, Singer, Log Enterprises, and Frank B. Armstrong Limited. Be sure to join us. WEFM will also bring live coverage of the following Carnival Development Corporation, that is CDC, shows from Carnival City, Victoria Park, Fantastic Friday. On Friday, June 28th, 2024, Junior Calypso Soca Monarch, Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. Soca Monarch on Saturday, July 6th, 2024, and Dimash Gras on Sunday, July 7th, 2024. Coverage and broadcast of these events are made possible with the kind compliments of National Lotteries Authority, Singer, Log Enterprises, Frank B. Armstrong Limited, and Flow. So be sure to tune in for those. Now, as we get back to the Cop Chat this morning, the topic is crime prevention and you building resilient communities through crime prevention. If you're just joining me, this is Ari. With me is Roleza, and we have joining us Sergeant of Police number 776, Mr. Stephen Billy from the Crime Prevention Committee, and Detective Constable 120, Dilford Collins of the Major Crime Unit. So, good morning to you, officers.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So, for the sake of our listeners, please repeat again your department and the role you play in crime prevention at the RSVGPF.
Yes, good morning. As said, my name is Stephen Billy, Sergeant of Police in the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. I'm the National Coordinator for Police Youth Clubs, but I am also a committee member of the Crime Prevention Committee, which is basically set up to have programs throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines that inform our citizens about crime prevention tips, things that they can do to, remain safe and to prevent themselves and their families from becoming victims of crime and violence.
My name is Dilford Collins. I'm a member of the Major Crime Unit. As Sergeant Billy would have said, I'm also a committed member of the Crime Prevention Unit. And our main role is to ensure that persons are sensitized with respect to crime and putting strategies in place to ensure that crime is minimized as much as possible.
All right. So, what information do you wish to share with us today?
Well, first off, we want to just inform our general public that our crime prevention showcase, first of two, which we usually have every year, is scheduled for tomorrow, Friday, God's willing. They are indirectly involved in security and providing security services to the general public. Also, different departments of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, like the Narcotics Department, the CID Department, all these stakeholders will be at the showcase tomorrow. And the idea behind of it is to give the general public a hands-on view of what are some of the things that they need to do and to keep in mind when it comes to their security. Because as we say, we are trying to build resilient communities through crime prevention. And crime prevention is everybody's business. It is not just something that is left up to the police or persons you'll hear people say it all the time, oh, it's the police work or it's police job and what they're doing. But the crime prevention unit, our task is also to sensitize the general public, letting them know that crime prevention is also their responsibility. And so we have these showcases to give tips and ideas as to how best persons can keep themselves, their families, and their properties secure. And so if you are in Kingstown tomorrow between the hours of about 10 to 4 p.m., we would be in front of the Central Police Station, and we'll have a showcase to exhibit to you hands-on, because sometimes you hear things over the radio, people you miss it. So we are there in person. You can ask questions, we can give you our answers, give you suggestions. And of course, as I said, there are stakeholders, persons who provide security services, whether it's burglar bars or burglar alarms, cameras, things like that, where they themselves can also speak to the technicians so that they can have a good security system once they can afford it.
Okay. And I know that you said that it happens twice a year. Is it generally at Carnival and Christmas?
Yes, Carnival and Christmas time.
And why is this?
Well, because these are the times when we have a number of persons, especially in Kingston and around and persons generally leave their homes and converse in Kingston and other areas, like in Carnival time. People go to different areas or shows and leave their homes unattended. So we thought that these are the best time to have these showcases so that persons will be reminded and enlightened as it pertains to crime prevention.
Okay. So in terms of crimes that you tend to see around this time of the year, I know you spoke about persons leaving home, etc. And then you spoke about security for your homes. What other type of criminal activity is generally heightened around this time of the year?
Well, we tend to see a lot of thefts, burglaries, and armed robberies at this time of the year. So persons have to be reminded and they have to be cautious. as to when they are coming into Kingston, as to when they are leaving their homes. They have to be they are also reminded to know that the police is there. The police will always ensure that their safety is maintained. So if you figure that you're leaving your homes and maybe you're in an area where you see someone, for example, you see some suspicious activity, you can inform any police officer. You can always ensure that you can call. So at this time of the year, we see a lot of burglaries that I would have mentioned, theft, robberies. So we are encouraging persons to be aware and to be sensitized.
Okay.
Some of the other things that we
Right.
see is pickpockets, persons snatching people jewelry, things like that. So what we do at the showcase, we have been for this week sensitizing the public through different mediums on the media, whether it be on different radio stations and television, bringing these tips to our Vincentian populace, of course, and our visitors, that when you come into Kingstown on these days in Carnival or wherever you go for where you have these shows, we are telling you that you have to be careful how you secure your wallet. Men love to wear their wallet in their back pockets. Females love to have their cellular phones dangling in their back pockets.
Walk with purse on the arm.
On the arm, but yet the purse is open. The bag is open. You can see all the contents that are in there. And somebody can easily walk up behind you, remove your purse or your cellular phone, and you don't even know. And then in crowded areas, because these guys usually work in teams, so somebody bump into you and say sorry. When you look around and you tell somebody snatch your chain or somebody already gone with your phone and or your wallet or your purse. And the thing is that we recognize is that persons around Carnival time have a tendency of showing off, especially when they're returning Vincentians who are coming from different places, whether in the army or they're sailing or they're being overseas for a while. People have to brandish their cash, and a large amount of it too. And I don't know what is the purpose for that, but
To show that you've returned. But anyhow.
Failing to realize that there are persons who are criminals and criminal-minded. You understand? And they do not really care about you and what belongs to you. What they want to do is take it from you, from one means or the other. So even when persons go to the ATM, we are advising persons to be very careful. Persons coming out of the ATM with the cash in their hand. They just leave a boot, which is fairly secure, and the glass is a little bit dark and you can't see. People taking more monies than they actually need at the time, for whatever reason. And then they come out and you're just pushing money and you walk. We are telling people that you have to be more conscious of the environment. You have to look around. You have to ensure, as you're going into an ATM, scan the area, see who's looking at you. Take some description. The facial features, the body build, if they have any tattoos, what they're wearing, things like that. When you come out, do the same thing, scan the area again. Because one thing you can't prevent, if somebody make up their mind they want to commit a crime, we can't stop them. We may be able to prevent, or we may be able to solve the crime. But if you have some description to give to the police, it helps and it aids in getting those persons who commit these criminal acts and bring them into justice.
Okay.
And we are also encouraging persons, if you can use the ATM machines, preferably during the day rather than at night, because sometimes at night the place might be lonely. We are also encouraging you to use ATM machines that are more in the public areas rather than isolated areas. And if you are going to the ATM, it is preferably that you walk with someone rather than going alone.
Okay.
As Sergeant Billy would have mentioned, ensure that the ATMs as well can have doors that can be locked, because sometimes persons may look to enter the ATM and try and rob
Directly
you.
behind you. Right. All right. I know that we've spoken about home security, theft, robberies. What about persons with their vehicles? In terms of coming into Kingston to attend events, etc., what tips or advice do you have for them? I noticed that we had a caller coming in. Caller, you can call back now if you wish to, but you can go ahead and answer in the interim.
Yes, that's a very important question in terms of vehicles. We are advising persons to carpool. If you have friends and family members and everybody have a vehicle, Kingston can't hold all those vehicles. There's not enough space for you to park those vehicles. And sometimes that leads you to park your vehicles in dark, lonely areas, which is really inviting criminals to break into your vehicles. And so we advise persons that if you're going to bring your vehicles in town, try to utilize the car parks that are available. Some persons refuse to pay $11 because they figure that it's too much money. And then when somebody break them glass, even if it is the smallest glass in the back there, it costs more than $11, much more. And then whatever contents are inside their vehicles. And while I'm on that, I want to say something to the firearm holders, licensed firearm holders. Do not leave your firearms in your vehicles for no reason, absolutely no reason. If you come into Kingstown and you're going to be partying hard and you figure whatever you're wearing, whether you're wearing something secure, you just figure that, it is not safe to have your firearm with you. You can turn it into the police. You can turn it into the police. The police will hold it after making the necessary documentation until you are ready to retrieve your firearms.
Okay, so this could be done at the police station, and I know that also whenever there are events, that there are security officers, like those at PAC, there are police officers there, and I think there's a booth there as well. So
yes, just like in
right?
cricket, we had a mobile station
Right.
station outside Annesdale, not outside outside the complex itself and the tarmac. The same thing happens when you have these major shows in Victoria Park. There is a mobile station, and you can do that there as well. Because I don't think the police officers will allow you to take your firearms into Victoria Park like that, And so you will have to log it with the police and then retrieve it after. And for those persons who go into different shows and things like that, you can arrange for that to be logged. Maybe the police officer on site may not be able to hold it, but they have police transport. You can call, make the necessary documentation, take it to the nearest police station. And when you're ready for it, you can also retrieve it. And so these are the things that we're advising persons. And if you're leaving home, firearm holders, licensed firearm holders I'm talking about, yes, some persons might have a vault, and it's a small thing that somebody can lift up and just walk with. Walk with your firearm. Because you're supposed to be walking with it in the first place. That's why you apply for it. Don't just leave it like that. If you have a proper vault area, it's in the wall and it's secure and it's hidden, I could understand that you might want to secure. Okay.
Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning. In terms of taking cash around at carnival time, I don't know how advanced St. Vincent is in terms of carnival time, where you might be able to go at Victoria Park and make purchases from the various food and concession areas without using cashless. Because I remember going to the late Prince Diana Park in London, and all the vendors there were cashless. So I'm saying, how ready are St. Vincent at carnival time, especially carnival time, to at different shows or events where people can make purchase cashless? Already are we in that direction?
Well, there are some persons some entities, I should say, you can do that, but normally the vendors do not have that technology as yet.
And I really talk about street vendors, like in Victoria Park, the vendors in Victoria Park, or wherever they have shows, and those places where you buy food and alcohol in those places. It's not all inclusive.
Well, as I said, there are some persons, entities who may have those things to do that, but there are some who does not. And that is why we're advising persons that when they are going into the shows and the park or wherever they're going, just walk with enough cash that is necessary for the event at the time, not no excessive amount of cash and brandishing it for all to see, because you never know who is who. And until we get to the point where everybody can use, cards as a means of payment, we have to also be mindful that we are all not at that stage as yet. So we have to take the necessary precaution to secure ourselves from becoming victims of crime.
And you talk about the ladies. I noticed that too. Ladies love to have their phone in their back pocket more than anything. And at least 4 occasions, a lady dropped their phone, and I was able to alert them, stop them and tell them, you drop your phone. Okay. I got a last question, but we might have to lead up another time in terms of the license firearm. You might not want to deal with that today, in terms of because I heard somewhere else that there are criminals in St. Vincent with licensed firearms. So I don't know. I don't think that should be possible. But like I say, you might not be able to touch it today. So we'll leave that. So have a good morning.
All right. Thank you, Queens.
Thank you.
All right. So just for me to have it full understanding, if I'm going to an event and I am the holder of a licensed firearm, and let's say it's not an event at CDC where I know for sure that a CDC related event at Victoria Park where I know for sure there'll be a mobile unit, can I leave that firearm at the central police station, go to the event, and then return?
Yes, you can. At any police station, a matter of fact.
Okay.
At any police station that you're comfortable with, that you might be familiar with, you can leave your weapon there. As I said, there'll be a documentation process which will be logged so that even the persons who are on duty may have left or they are doing something else. There's a documentation there to show that you came with this firearm, with the amount of ammunition and the serial number, everything. So when you come now, you can also retrieve that firearm. So you can leave it at any police station, not just Kingstown.
Okay. All right. Another question. I know that you spoke earlier about home security, and I raised the point about vehicle security. Would there also be someone on display in terms of letting persons know how they can secure their vehicles, in terms of you raised the point about alarm system for home security? Would someone also be there in terms of be able to see how to secure a vehicle as well?
Yes, please. The necessary personnel will be there tomorrow in front of the central police station. All this information will be shared. So once you come and you ask the questions, the necessary information will be shared to you.
All right. So the time is 8:30 here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be back with more Cop Chat shortly.
Do you want to feel clean or refreshed after using the bathroom, whether at home, work, or play? Welcome to My Smart Toilet Seats. All of our products wash your private parts after using the bathroom without the use of your hands. Let's hear what our national table tennis champion, Damian Dublin, has to say.
I tried it and it works. There are 4 options. Simply add an attachment to your existing toilet seat, or choose a non-electric seat, or better, an electric seat that washes and dries you with warm water and air. Lastly, get a complete smart toilet that also flushes itself. What are you waiting for? Get your smart toilet seat today. Be smart, be refreshed, be clean, be a winner like me.
Our smart toilet seat is available throughout St. Vincent at retail outlets with the orange flags. You can call us at 457-1703 or visit our website at justwashit.vc.
Yes, sir.
Our industry relies on all of us to play our part. We take pride in showcasing our beautiful island, our craft, our cuisine, and our warm Vincentian hospitality.
Each of us play a crucial role in showcasing our vibrant tourism industry.
We can create spaces where visitors can unwind, connect with nature, and embrace tranquility of our beautiful surroundings.
We need everyone on board to help us create an exceptional experience for our guests.
Join us at our National Tourism Community Consultations as we shape the future of tourism in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
It's everyone's business. Yeah, live it, love it, embrace it.
That's the sound of your animals. Strong, healthy, and delivering yields you love. That didn't just happen. It began with you feeding them only the best. East Caribbean Feeds. Rest assured, we only produce your feeds with premium ingredients, no hormones, no animal byproducts, just everything your animal needs from maximum nutrition. Because your animals deserve only the best. East Caribbean Feeds from Maximum Nutrition.
ECGC has slashed feed prices by 8 to 10%. Check your local supplier for more details. ECGC, providers of feed for maximum nutrition.
Zimsimas, the hottest carnival in the Caribbean. Calendar of events for 2024. Friday, June 28th, Fantastic Friday. Saturday, June 29th, Junior Carnival. Sunday, June 30th, Junior Panorama. Tuesday, July 2nd, Junior Calypso and Soca Monarch. Thursday, July 4th, Steel and Glitter. Friday, July 5th, Evo. Saturday, July 6th, Raga Soca and Soca Monarch Fire. Finals, Sunday, July 7th, Dimanche Gras. Monday, July 8th, Juve and T-shirt band street party. Tuesday, July 9th, Mardi Gras. Vincimas 2024, the hottest carnival in the Caribbean. We hope to see you there.
Cloud9 wants you to know that they're having their biggest sale ever. Save between 50 to 80% on everything store-wide. Shoes and clothing for the whole family, toys, household items, swimwear, and more. Don't miss out on this crazy sale. Everything must go. What are you waiting for? Get it before you miss it. Offer applies while stocks last. Some restrictions apply. Cloud9 is open Mondays to Fridays 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturdays 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
Such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines to Cop Chat. The time is 8:36 here, soon to be 8:37 here in St. Vincent and the Eastern Caribbean. But before we get back into our discussion this morning, just like to alert the public that the Central Water and Sewage Authority would like to inform residents of Diamond Village, Sanssouci, Newgrounds, Long Peace, North Union, Hadley's Village, South Union, Adelphi, Jeffrey, Lomans, Wynwood, Lauder, Cedars, Bridgetown, Bayaboo, Spring Estate, Provian Vale, Yambu, Argyle, Mount Pleasant, Warraku, Lower Calder, Diamonds, and Stubbs that their water supply will be disrupted on Thursday, June 27th, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That is today. This disruption is to accommodate line improvement works, and the CWSA regrets any inconvenience caused. Also, get ready for Touch on the Water, the ultimate all-inclusive catamaran cruise for the season that is happening on Friday, July 5th. Come jam to the band Touch in live performance mode with all your favorite hits for only EC $300. Also join WeFM as we bring live coverage of Fantastic Friday from Carnival City, Victoria Park on Friday, June 28th, 2024 from 8 p.m. This coverage and broadcast is made possible with the kind compliments of National Lotteries Authority, Singer, Log Enterprises, and Frank B. of Armstrong. Also, WeFM will bring live coverage of the following CDC shows from Carnival City, Victoria Park on Friday, June 28th, Fantastic Friday, Tuesday, July 2nd, Junior Calypso and Soca Monarch. On Saturday, July 6th, Soca Monarch, and on Sunday, July 7th, Dimanche Gras. Coverage and broadcast of these events are made possible with the kind compliments of the National Lotteries Authority, Singer, Log Enterprises, Frank B. Armstrong, and Flo. Be sure to join us. As we get back to our Cop Chat this morning, the topic is crime prevention and you. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Ari, and with me is Roleza, and we have joining us from the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, Sergeant of Police 776, Stephen Bailey, and Detective Constable 120, Dilford Collins. Now, so I listened to a lot of what you just had to say, and well, first of all, there's a comment here. Someone says visitors should be encouraged to take a picture of their passport, making it easier for the consulates to verify their documents if lost or stolen. So I'm guessing you're going to co-sign that statement.
Well, yes, anything that would make it easier for persons to retrieve or replace any such document is advisable. So if the visitors, we are advising you as well that you have a responsibility to prevent crime in terms of the way you carry yourselves and the way you act, not just for the locals or the residents of St. Vincent and Grenadines. So we are also advising you to be careful where you go and who you go with. You know, you can't, excuse me, can't just meet somebody on the road and just think all is well. Yes, we are a peaceful, majority of our citizens are peaceful, law-abiding and loving people. But in between there are persons who are bent on committing crime. And so we want our visitors who are coming to understand that they also have a responsibility for their own safety, to act, you know, in such a manner that will keep them safe and not just, you know, doing anything. Even in the consumption of alcohol, you know, we ask persons to be very careful about that, whether locals or visitors alike. And especially our young children and teenagers, we are seeing the parties are getting younger and younger in terms of more and more teenagers are partying and drinking also alcohol, consuming it at an alarming rate. And then they become impaired and they become vulnerable for persons to take advantage of them. There are persons who, and we advise persons, it is a no glass bottle policy during the carnival period. So drinks will be poured out. If somebody offer you a drink, whether male or female, because it goes straight across the board, you must be present when this drink is poured to avoid persons slipping any drug or anything to impair you into these drinks, because it does happen. And next thing you know, you wake up somewhere feeling used and you don't know what happened. You can't remember because you were out of it. Persons take advantage of you. Yes, you can make a report, but then you can't remember anything. So there's no information that will help the police unless somebody else might have seen something and they can, you know, lead one thing to the next. So we're asking persons, even in that light, that they have to be careful. Yes, it's a party, you want to enjoy yourself and all that, but you have to be mindful. There's some persons who can't drink alcohol, period. They drink it and they lie down on the street. And then persons relieve them of their valuables and then they come to CID and other police stations and say, oh, somebody robbed them. But when you really investigate, they fell asleep or they knocked out and persons just took the stuff. So that they even make up fictitious stories to tell you somebody point a gun at them and relieve them of their items when it's nothing like that. You know, all because they were drunk and out of it. And so these are things that we advise persons to be very aware of, visitors and locals alike.
All right. Would you also like to recommend these younger persons who are participating in the consumption of alcohol to travel in groups? So in case your friend is drunk or impaired, that they can find the nearest police officer, because there's always police officers at these events and shows to possibly assist.
Yes, we are encouraging this to the fullest because, as we know, sometimes when you are by yourself, you are more vulnerable. So maybe you might be drunk in a group and there will be persons around to assist you. We are also encouraging persons whenever you consume alcohol, because you know when persons consume alcohol, they become more aggressive. So we're encouraging persons to try and avoid as much confrontation as much as possible. Report our checks to the police. As you know, during the carnival season, there will be lots of police officers on the road. You can report any check to them. Don't wait until something happens to report it to the police. So we are encouraging persons to try and avoid as much confrontation with other persons as much as possible, especially during the consumption of alcohol.
You also had mentioned that parking in lonely areas invite criminals. I'm not sure if I agree 100% with the way that was framed, But I would like to ask, are there designated parking areas? Because I know that the police, for private events, they're usually hired as security. Are there designated parking events for those private events and as well as the CDC events?
Yes, they usually are. But the thing is, as I said, we advise persons to carpool because sometimes the designated areas are not sufficient for the number of vehicles that will come into Kingstown or even to a different venue. You know, so we are saying to you, be wise. Everybody don't have to bring their vehicles into town. And, you know, if you carpool, is less vehicles and better you get a parking area that is designated rather than you have to think. And when I said invite, what I'm really saying is this. Criminals take any opportunity given to them to commit a crime. That's just their mindset. So if the opportunity is given where it is easier for them to commit an offense, they would commit the offense. So that is why we are advising persons to be mindful as to where they park their vehicles. And that is what I really meant when I said that.
All right.
Because criminals don't really care about people's property or anything. They just do it.
All right, thanks for clarifying that. We're at 8:45 now here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're going to take another quick commercial break and we'll be back shortly with more Cop Chat.
At Lynch Caribbean, yes, we offer comprehensive insurance solutions and broking. But we are more than an insurance broker. We drill down to your core business strategy. We keep a pulse on risk to keep your operations healthy.
On your mark, get set.
Along the way, helping you to drive competitive advantages. At Lynch Caribbean, we have your back. Contact us today for insurance solutions, strategic risk advisory, and more. Call 453-3300. Email info@lynchcaribbean.com or visit our office in Beachmont, Kingstown. Follow Lynch Caribbean SVG on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, or visit www.lynchcaribbean.com.
Ready, set, surf. Singer, your favorite family store, is now online. Log on today at www.singersvg.com and enjoy our store and products right at your fingertips. Now online are your trusted brands that you have come to love. Refrigerators to chest freezers, gas cookers to toasters, air fryers, mattresses, living room sets, and so much more. Browse our products, check the specs, compare brands and prices, and request parts all online. We have also made bill payments easier, more convenient, and simpler just for you. Log on to www.singersvg.com to learn more. Singer, your family company, is keeping up with you and the times. Visit our website today and experience a whole new world of Singer, your trusted online family company.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack, Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
Ground control, come in. It's the space station. We have an unidentified object for review. Over.
Go ahead, space station.
It seems to be.
Go ahead.
It's,
Go ahead, space station.
Okay, I've made my decision. It's a cricket ball.
What?
6. What a shot. You big it. Out of the park and into the sky.
The ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
It's out of this world.
Buy your tickets now from tickets.t20worldcup.com.
Let us begin. The battle is on for Calypso supremacy at Vincimas 2024 as 22 Calypsonians vie for spots at the finals. This will be a fierce battle at the grand opening night of Vincimas on Friday, June 28th. Fantastic Friday, Carnival City, Victoria Park. The songs will be hitting, the atmosphere will be right, and the people will have a great time. There'll be additional entertainment for the night through an extempo competition finals of the top shotters who reign supreme at the Calypso tents. This fantastic Friday is going to be massive with giveaways for the early birds and lots of prizes and surprises for the patrons. So see you at the Victoria Park from 8 p.m. on Friday, June 28th. Fantastic Friday.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
Welcome back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 8:50. We have roughly 10 minutes to wrap up, 9 minutes to wrap up the cop chat this morning. But before we get back into this discussion, remember to get ready for Touch on the Water, the ultimate all-inclusive catamaran cruise for the season. It is happening on Friday, July 5th. Come jam to the band Touch, live and in performance mode with all your favorite hits for only EC $300. Now, the topic is crime prevention and you building resilient communities through crime prevention. And we have with us Sergeant of Police 776 Stephen Bilingi and Detective Constable 120 Dilford Collins. So, officers, is there anything else that you would like to leave with the listeners as it relates to crime prevention?
Well, yes, there is. There's so much information still we were unable to share. And that is why we are inviting persons to come tomorrow at our showcase, the 28th of June, 2024, in front of the Central Police Station. But before we go, I would like to let parents know that they have a responsibility for their children. And too often we see children by themselves in areas and places that they shouldn't be, teenagers and even younger children. We want our parents to know that they should, if you're going to bring your children into town, especially Carnival Monday and Tuesday, you must inform your child or children of their names, your name and their addresses and telephone number. And if they would not be able to say it, write it on a piece of paper and give it to them. And in case you get separated from your child or children, let them know to find the nearest police officer in uniform. And we are stressing the uniform aspect of it because the child would not know who is a police officer otherwise. And we do not want them to go into the wrong person and end up in the hands of a predator who will want to use or misuse and abuse them. There are issues of the counterfeit notes that will usually be tendered around this time. We want you to come at the showcase. We will have a specimen of the genuine note and we'll show you all the features, what you should look for, so you will know the difference if somebody try to tender any to you. So we are advising you to come at the showcase. We also have our narcotics department who will be there with the different types of drugs. And some parents may not know, or even children may not know what these drugs may look like. They might only know one form of it, but there are different forms of different drugs that you that you should know and be aware of. And all these things will be at the exhibition. And we inviting you to come out. And if you're in Kingston, stop by, take a few minutes of your time to be informed and educated so that you can be better prepared to be safe, whether it's in your home or any function you may go to.
All right, so we have a call. Okay, we just missed that call. Caller, you can call back. Detective Collins, anything that you wish to add to that?
Well, we are just re-emphasizing that before persons leave their homes, they should ensure that their homes are properly secured. Inform the neighbor that you will be going out for the carnival season and for how long. That is very important also, so that they can have a lookout in the event that intruders may tend to break into your homes.
All right. Okay. So in light of an incident that recently happened where a homeowner was killed in his home during a robbery, or maybe a robbery or attempted robbery, I'm not sure of the finer details, right? What can persons do to further to secure themselves while they are at home? Because we're speaking a lot about persons leaving home, but while they are at home, what advice would you give to persons at this time?
All right, the first thing I will let persons know that, as I said, if you can afford the cameras, the burglar bars, the burglar alarms, you should go right ahead and do that. But let's say you have all those things and somebody find a way to bypass them and get into your home, and maybe you're in your room and you're there and you hear a noise, an unusual noise coming from within your premises. The advice would be, especially if you're alone, you remain in that area that you are safe in. Call the police, call a friend, call a neighbor, call somebody to get help, right? But if you have a family and, like me, you have your children out in a different room, you obviously want to secure them. Whether you have a licensed firearm or not, you can't just walk out into it's your house. First of all, it's your tactical in how you approach a situation, because you don't know who is who or what they have with them. So you have to be very careful. So if you got to come out, if you have to come out, you have to ensure you do it in a safe manner. Don't just walk out. Use your walls, your corners, turn off the lights. But as I said, your house, if there are lights in it and you turn it off, you know your home better than anybody else. So you can maneuver around in the dark than somebody who's just intruding. But it's always best to put your safety first. Call police, call for help, and be very careful as to how you approach the situation. If it is coming from the outside, you don't need to open no door, no windows, or any such thing. The procedure still stands. You call for help, you make sure you inform the relevant authorities and let them know that somebody is trying to get into your house or there's somebody inside your house, so that they need to come right away, so that they can come and give you that assistance that you may need to deal with these perpetrators. Because as you can see, sadly, these men and women who commit these crimes, they are no respect of people's life or the property or any such thing like that. And it's sad. And so we have to ensure we do whatever we have to do to defend ourselves and protect ourselves in the right manner. We can't just rush into things, especially, wake up and you might be a little, still sleepy, your head's not right in the right place. Take a little while, be careful how you approach the situation, assess the situation before you go into the area where the danger might be.
All right, so we have a call. Caller, good morning. Caller, good morning.
Go back briefly to hello. I want to go back briefly to the question of parking. I heard people being getting their car booted at the Stony Ground Massey outlet. But I remember one Carnival Tuesday, the police directed me to park into that parking lot in Stony Ground. So is that one of the place designated on Carnival Tuesday or not for parking?
Well, I can't say exactly if that will be one of the areas designated, but one thing I can let you know, wherever the parking is designated, the police will direct whoever the motorists are to go to that area. So wherever the areas are designated, you will be informed on the day where to park, because the police officers will be out in full force and on the different areas. So they will direct you to where you should go and where you should park. And usually there are police officers stationed
and you won't
in
get
these.
boot.
No, because if the police direct you to park, you cannot be booted. Right.
Well, in terms of the burglar, the incident there with in Harmony Hall, and I don't know if you're able to give this information on air. Did the owner have a licensed firearm?
I'm not sure about that. I can't.
That's okay if you cannot give that information. Okay.
I am not
All
sure,
right.
so I can't speak to that.
You're not able to?
No.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. So even I suppose within our own homes, I guess just to add to it as well, in terms of, let's say, not having large sums of cash at home, money is generally safer in a bank, etc. While it is that, yes, you are in your home, to also secure your valuables within your home rather than having them full out on display. So if there's anything else, in terms of tip-wise that you can share, then, yeah.
We are also encouraging persons to desist from opening their homes to strangers because, sometimes persons might come asking for water. You may not know them, and they might use that as an opportunity to commit an offense. We're also encouraging persons to ensure that their windows are properly secured and closed, especially before going to sleep. And if you have to speak to a stranger outside, avoid doing it away from the window because you don't know if they might attack you by the window or something like that. And
it might be safer to speak to them from a window as opposed to opening the door.
Well, if the window is at a ground level,
right,
maybe they can use that as an opportunity to commit an offense. So we are encouraging persons to be careful, especially when at home and strangers come and speak to you.
As it relates to the properties, what we ask persons to do, you have to be able to identify your property. Because one of the criteria for an offense of burglary or theft, they have to be an owner. And the owner must be able to identify their properties. So you have to put some distinguished mark on it. If it's something that has serial numbers, you try to write it down somewhere, or put some hidden mark. You don't just put it where everybody can see. You put it in a way that it is disguised, and that when if time comes, because you can't tell me somebody stole your LG 20-inch television. So many LG 20-inch television about the place. So what you will be able to distinguish is the difference between I know the serial number or I place a mark and XYZ. That will be that the police will be able to identify, and you yourself will be able to identify your property as yours. And that is also a way to secure yourself. Don't just take things for granted. And today, persons are looking, the criminals are wising up. So you have to be ahead of them at all times as to how best to secure yourself. And there are certain things you cannot. Sometimes you have the best security and people still find a way to get in your home, right? So it's not that I'm saying that because you have this security, you will be completely safe from criminals. But with these things, it minimizes, that possibility, because, it will be too much risky for somebody to want to go through all that just to get in there. And so that is why we're asking persons to put these measures in place and be wise. If you're leaving home, leave on a light, leave on a television. And when my colleagues tell a neighbor, make sure the neighbor is somebody who's trustworthy, who can inform. And parents, when you're leaving home and you're leaving your children, leave them with responsible persons, not just any adult or any person who's willing to hold them. They might be willing to hold them, as we just say, or keep them for a reason to molest them. So you have to be so wise and careful. Don't leave your teenage daughters and son with the smaller ones and say they're big enough. They're not. They're still children.
Or leave them with candles.
Yeah, and candles and all things in homes that does not have electricity. There's so many things that you need to know as it pertains to safety and security. And the time we have here is not enough. And that's why we are advising you to pass by the showcase tomorrow, God's will, where we have almost an entire day to tell you of all these things over and over, repeating them so that they will stick. And you can come and ask questions and we'll give you the information. And we really want you to be a part of it. And so we are inviting persons to come out.
Remind the listeners where exactly the showcase is and what time.
This will be in front of the Central Police Station tomorrow between the hours of 10 a.m. and 5 p.m.
All right. Thanks, officers, for joining us this morning. It was quite informative. We do hope that a lot of the listeners participate tomorrow, pass by, get as much information as possible. As you rightfully said, it's not enough time for us to really discuss a lot of these issues, especially with the carnival season upon us. But we do hope that you're able to get the information out there and we have a more crime-free carnival season this Vincy Mas 2024.